So it's time for Barcelona knits. I'm getting to the venue. I'm quite early because I don't have the early bird ticket, so I don't want to get stuck in the queues for the whole day. But I'm walking towards the Barcelona World Trade Center at the moment, where the festival is held. So I will take you around and see all the sites, all the yarns, all the vendors. So get ready with me. I thought I was early, but there are already a lot of people over here waiting to get in. The queues are already growing and it's 1 hour to the event.
Too early just to lose some more sleep. I've been hiding from my pride, well I'm looking for a change. Oh, but what if I change my mind? Will I find my wasted time? There's somebody I look up to, I could only hope to be. If we had the conversation, I know exactly what he'd say to me. What he'd say to me. He would say you'll be alright. This fight, if you don't ever learn to keep it in balance and always know you can only get higher if you've been low. You say you'll be alright if you live in the moment. Don't give up on life, it's your only opponent. You can only be honest. I'll make you this promise. I'd say if I made a lot of money.
Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sari and here is my cat Luna, and you are watching my knitting podcast videos. And at the beginning of the video you saw a little montage of my trip to Barcelona. It's been already almost a month that since I was there, but almost immediately after I got back, I got the flu and I was sick for almost 2 weeks, and after that I have been just like trying to catch up with all my work like crazy, so that's why there's been a bit of a break in my YouTube videos of lately. As you could see in the videos at the beginning of this episode, Barcelona was amazing as always. I'm so happy that I decided to go there. So it was a bit of an extempore trip for me, so I booked it very last minute, but I managed to arrange with Labi and Amy and Mayak that I could pop by their booths on Saturday, kind of in promotion of my book Softly. So I had knits with me that I had knitted with Labi and Amy yarns, as well as the cover design of my book, the Calliope pullover that was knitted with Mayak's Tibetan cloud wool. And I did some yarn shopping, but I think the best thing about yarn festivals is the people you meet there. So every time you go there, I remember the first time I attended such an event some 5 years ago, or I think it might have been even longer, 6 years ago maybe. It was in Jyväskylä for the Jyväskylä Knit Festival. I didn't know anybody and I was there alone a lot of the time, but I made some contacts there, and the next time I went there I had a couple of people that I knew and I could talk to. So it's been kind of like snowballing ever since. Like every time you go there you meet a couple of new people, you talk to new people, the people you met last time introduce you to their friends, their acquaintances. You meet another yarn vendor, another designer, and so on. So every time you go, you get to know more people, and the next time you go there or to another festival, you meet the same people, you meet new people. And after all these years, the whole thing has become kind of like this very big family to me. So every time I go to festivals, it's like meeting a lot of friends that I haven't seen for a long time, and that's the most fun part about the yarn festivals for me, to meet with people, to chat with people, to get inspired, to see what inspires them, what's trending, what people are liking at the moment, and of course the people, to connect with the people who also knit, who design, who dye the yarn, and so on. So that's so amazing, the feeling of meeting everybody. And there were a lot of people that I met in Barcelona last year. There were people who I met in Madrid in February for when I went to the Love Yarn Madrid festival, and then there were people who I met in Berlin in the summer. So the sense of community and making new friends through this, I was going to say hobby, but it's no longer a hobby for me, but this craft is just amazing. It brings me so much joy. And unfortunately, immediately when I came home, my son had become sick while I was in Barcelona. I came home to a sick child, and a few days later, of course, I got the flu as well, like I told you. So I feel like I have been super unproductive during these past few weeks. While I was in Barcelona, I felt like so much inspiration, like a burst of energy, and the feeling that I wanted to cast on like everything. And I casted on a few new things, but now I feel like I've been knitting the same thing all over again. And at the moment I feel like kind of like knitting truly feels like work at the moment. It sometimes feels like that to me. I'm knitting a second sleeve of a sweater. I'm knitting a second sock. I'm knitting a second shawl sample. I'm knitting the most boring bottom band ever that is taking forever. So I feel like everything that I'm making at the moment, it's not kind of like inspirational knitting, if you understand what I mean. It's not like the joy of creating something, it's just like making the necessary things happen. So I must have a second sock. So the first sock is always like, oh, this is something new, I'm creating this, and the second sock is just like retracing my steps. Same with sleeves and so on. The reason why I'm knitting a second shawl sample is that I'm hosting this December mystery shawl design, and it's the turtle dove shawl. If you're following me on Instagram, you probably have seen the photos of the shawl. So it started a bit before December. It was the last Wednesday of November, and then I'm releasing the pattern in four parts. So that's the mystery of it. So you don't know what the final design is going to look like at the end, but you only get like a little part of the pattern every week. So now we are at the third clue already, and next Wednesday I'm releasing the last clue. So I started to knit the first sample a bit before I left for Barcelona. I knitted it on the plane, and then I was sitting in this really nice cafe in Barcelona and watching people and drinking cappuccino and just knitting, and I was almost done with the shawl when I realized that I haven't taken any progress photos. So I'm going to release this pattern in 4 parts, and I have failed to take photos at the end of like each clue. And I realized I have to do it all over again. Luckily it's a small shawl, but I had to start it again and make another version of it, just to get the progress photos. So after every clue I can show what a shawl looks like after that clue. So here's the, so this is now folded double and you're seeing the wrong side. So this is the sample that I knitted in Barcelona. So it's this beautiful light grey. I used Gerard Garn's Wild and Soft, and then Knitting for Olive's Soft Silk Mohair. So I'll show you this is the whole shawl. So again, you're seeing the back side. I'm not going to show you the right side of it because the last part is still secret. But here's the second one that I made. I decided to make it in red, and just going to not show you the last bit that I have made because I'm almost done with the last clues. I'm just folding the end of the shawl. So here's the second sample that I have been making. You can see it here. So it has like this cable and twisted stitch and small bubbles over here. So this has a lot of the same elements in the cable pattern that I like using. So I think I've used this maybe I think in the Sawyer pullover, and this is I have used this kind of cables a lot. I also like these twisted stitch and the garter rib pattern over here. So I've used that in the Vivian pullover, for example, also Sawyer, and so on. So this is the turtle dove shawl, and like I said, it's the mystery pattern that I have been making. So the last part is coming next Wednesday, and then the pattern is full. So if you don't want to knit a mystery pattern, then you can wait until next Wednesday to cast on, because then the final pattern, final clue is out and the full pattern is out, so you will know how it will look like. So this turtle dove is of course a reference to Home Alone, and like I told you, we had the flu, and I thought this was the perfect time for us to watch Home Alone movies, and it was also the first time my son, who is now 8 years old, watched them. So we first watched the Home Alone 1, then the one in New York, then he wanted to see the first one again, and then we watched the New York one again. So we have now seen both Home Alone movies twice for this December, and my son wants to see them one more time, at least one more time before Christmas. Unfortunately, he doesn't speak English well enough yet to understand what people are saying, and here in Finland we don't usually talk over the voiceovers. So we have the subtitles only. So the movie is in English, we have Finnish subtitles. He doesn't read quickly enough yet to be able to read the subtitles, and he doesn't understand English well enough to understand everything what they are saying. So that means that when we are watching the movies, I'm reading all the subtitles to him in Finnish. But he loves the movies, I love the movies, I loved them as a kid. So I think it's a really nice Christmas tradition, so that's why I named this one also Turtle Dove. Another red thing that I have on my needles, I showed this to you in my previous video, or the yarn, I showed you the yarn in my previous video. So this is Filcolana Arwetta, and the colorway is 218. I will write all the pattern names, all the yarn names, everything that I mentioned below this video. So if you are wondering what pattern I'm talking about, where's the link to it, or what yarn I was referring to, you can easily check them below the video. I have written everything over there. So this is Arwetta, and I already have the first sock. Like I said, I'm working on the second sock. So these are the Lulu socks. They're currently being test knitted, and I'm planning to release the pattern after Christmas, like before New Year, but after Christmas. So this also has the same kind of like broken rib, so as I had in the turtle dove shawl. So I wanted to make kind of like very basic socks, but with something, a little bit of a twist. So I decided to add this cone of garter stitch between, or in the middle of the rib. So this is what they look like. The rib goes also on the back of the foot. These are knitted cuff down, and they have reinforced heel flaps, gussets. Let's see how I can show to you the best. So gussets and French heels. So this is my favorite way of making socks. And the second sock that I have over here, looks like this at the moment. So I just have a bit of the textured pattern left, and then the toes, and then these are ready. I absolutely love these, and even though I said that I'm suffering from second sock syndrome at the moment, I was thinking about casting this on in another yarn. Just go and grab one skein from over there, and I'll be back to show you what I was going to use for the second socks. So here I have it. I bought this one in Berlin last summer. So this is Mominoki yarns here, and this is their sock fine 4-ply, and the colorway is called Fairy Tale. It's a really beautiful, kind of like undyed beige base with all kinds of little speckles of colors. There's blue, there's green, there's purple, everything going on. And I think this would look really nice with the socks, because the stitch pattern is so simple. I think the little dots of color will look really nice with the simple texture. So I think I will use this for a second pair of Lulu socks. Another thing that I casted on while I was in Barcelona was the Mila cardigan that I have over here. And this was the button band project that I mentioned. Started the button band yesterday in the morning. I used a whole day yesterday to work on it. I even talked on the phone for 2 hours with my friend Emma. Emma is the one who takes care of a lot of my test knits at the moment. And we talked on the phone for 2 hours, like I said, and I worked on the button band for the whole time. Okay, Luna wants to go now. And then I worked on it in the evening when I watched some TV, and then I've been working on it in the morning today, and I still have some left. So this is the first time that I'm using a double knitted button band. I absolutely love it. It's really nice, but it takes such a long time. But I love the end result. It's super neat, and going to love it. Sometimes it's not about the journey, it's about the end result, if you know what I mean. So I casted this on in Barcelona, and I was sitting in front of Antonia Gaudi's Casa Mila, and there's like this cafe, and I was sitting there and I was watching people going in and out to the house and out of it again, and I was looking at the house, and it's amazing. The architecture is amazing. And then I was looking at my knitting. I still had just kind of like some of the back done, and I started to think how the color of this pullover and also the shapes of the cables reminded me of the house. So that's why I decided to call this is the Mila cardigan. So the thing about this was that I wanted to create, this was at first going to be a sweater, not a cardigan, and I wanted to create like this all over cable pattern, something that looks very intricate even though it's quite simple actually. So it's an 8 stitch pattern that keeps repeating. So here's like one pattern repeat of it, and just keeps repeating over the whole body. And when I started to knit it, I realized that the back side of the pattern is also super beautiful. I love the cables also on the back. They're a lot more simple, but there's something super interesting in them as well. So here you can see the difference, the front and or the right side and the wrong side. So then I came up with the idea of turning this into a cardigan so that it could be reversible. So instead of working on just one cardigan, you kind of like get two, so you can turn it around and use the wrong side as well on the front. And when I first started to think, okay, I'm turning this into cardigan, then first of all I was thinking, oh, I want to add pockets. Then I realized, oh, I can't add pockets because then the pockets are on the wrong side. So if you turn it around, the pockets are on the inside, and that's a bit funny, and no, I don't know if anybody wants that. Then I was thinking about making like a shawl collar, kind of like the one that I have in my Asopo cardigan that I have in my book, Softly. But then I decided to add this, or because I was thinking about if I add buttons and then I turn it around, then the buttons are on the wrong side, and that's not good either. And then I realized that I can add snaps, because snaps are going to be on both sides, so it doesn't matter if you turn it around, then you still have one side of the snaps showing. So that's why I decided to do this double knitted button band, and then I will add snap buttons to it, so you can see that it looks really beautiful. This is the wrong side, and here you can see the right side, so it looks perfectly neat on both sides. And then I will still add sleeves to it, and I still want to use this same pattern for a sweater. I'm still thinking how I can manage to turn this into a sweater, because the neckband, picking up stitches for the neckband, I'm not sure if I can pull it off neatly enough that it will be reversible, but I have to think about it. Yeah, I will think about it. But yeah, it still needs sleeves, and it still needs the last 15 centimeters of double knitting for the bottom band, but I'm pretty confident I will finish this next week. But next week is already the Christmas week, and I was thinking about taking a bit of holidays between Christmas and New Year's, so I think I will write the pattern for this in January and have the call for test knitters in January, unless I have time to do that next week, but I'm not sure. I have quite a lot of things to do because we were sick. I haven't bought any Christmas present yet. We had a strike here yesterday, so none of the buses or trains were moving, so everything that I had planned to do yesterday. I couldn't do anything, and let's see if I can pull off writing the pattern next week. Otherwise I will do it after New Year's. But the yarn that I used for that one, this is the Wooldreamers La Rinconada. It's a DK weight yarn, 100% Spanish organic merino, and this is the colorway Niebla. I forgot to show you the yarns that I bought in Barcelona. I have them here next to me. I didn't buy a lot. I'm trying to reduce the amount of yarn that I buy, because as you can see I have quite a lot of here already, and I have even some more over there and a bit more over there and some over there, so a lot of yarn everywhere. But I used to always buy a sweater worth of yarn because I prefer knitting sweaters, so that meant like at least 6 skeins. And then when I had the sweater worth of yarn and I wanted to make, for example, a hat, then I never had like those like single skeins of yarns for a hat, because I couldn't take anything away from the sweater quantities, because then I wouldn't have a sweater quantity anymore, and if I wanted to use that for a sweater then I wouldn't have enough yarn for that, and it was just kind of like impossible. And after a while some of the yarns that I have didn't like inspire me anymore, so I'm trying to be way more mindful about things that I buy. Sometimes I buy things on a whim, so if I get totally inspired about something then I might buy something that I haven't planned. But for example, for the Barcelona trip I had a couple of projects planned that I was looking yarn for, and weird enough everything that I bought was grey. My shopping list was yarns for dark grey sweater. I want to make a dark grey cabled sweater, and then I want to make a light grey summer t-shirt. So that was my shopping list, those two projects. First of all, the dark grey sweater. So I got Biches&Bûches Le Petit Lambswool, and this is the medium grey colorway, and this is fingering weight yarn. And I was going to buy the matching mohair, but they didn't have enough of the same dye lot with them, so I'm going to order it online to match this one. So I want to make a dark grey sweater with this. So this not really like totally dark grey, but this is darkish maybe. I didn't want like totally dark because then it's very hard to photograph it and you don't see the cables, so I think this is still dark, but you can still see, as you can see here, it's a single strands of yarn on the skein. That means that you can also see the like stitch patterns when it's knitted up. So this is going to become a dark grey sweater. And then I bought from Dark Omen Yarns over here. So this one is the one that I bought for t-shirt. So I got 3 skeins of it. And this is the BFL silk, so it's also fingering weight, 55% BFL merino and 45% silk. The colorway is called Oblio. It's really beautiful, like pearly grey, and I think yarns with silk are really nice for the summer. So I want to make a very simple summer t-shirt that goes with everything. So that's that. And then I have one more. This was actually a gift from Mila. So these are going to be turned into a hat. So here's the linden base. The colorway is called Gandalf. So this is a fingering weight yarn, 100% superwash merino, Gandalf the Grey, and then this is Thyme alpaca, so it's 74% baby story alpaca and 26% mulberry silk. The colorway is called Je ne sais quoi. Here you can see the etiquette or label. It has a really beautiful, very muted rainbowish colors, so I think this will look really nice knitted up together. And then I have one more thing that I wanted to show you. New yarn. It wasn't from Barcelona, I bought it from my local yarn store here in Helsinki. From Snorra. This is the Cardiff Cashmere base, and this is colorway 711 here. And then I have Mohair by Garn. This is the colorway 3001 over here, and I'm going to use these two together. I wanted this to be a slightly, I think because it's a bit more purple and a bit colder than this, so I wanted to kind of like a bit tone this one down. I'm going to make another Biches&Bûches beret with these yarns. I absolutely love this color combination. I love my robin beanie. I've been using that a lot, and I love adding a little like a pop of color with the robin beanie, the pink robin beanie, to my winter outfit. So I think this little beret will look nice as well. So I have two more things that I wanted to show you in this video. One is a pattern that I released last week, and another one is something that I'm releasing today. So this is the Emily jacket. So if you have been following me for a longer time, let's say like last spring, you might remember me making, actually here's the first version that I made last spring, but then I was so busy with my book and all the tech editing and test knitting of it, and then also the weather turned so warm in the spring that I thought that nobody wants to knit something thick like this, so I put that like on rest for a while and focused on summer things, and now I'm back with this pattern and I'm releasing it now. And like I said, I'm releasing the pattern today finally. So it's knitted top down, starting actually at the back. So you first work the back until the armholes, then you work the fronts, and then join the body together, and then pick up stitches for the sleeves. The sleeve caps are worked with short rows. Everything is explained in the pattern, so it's a lot easier than it sounds like. And then you pick up stitches for the I-cord edge at the fronts and in the neckband, and make buttonholes. So for this white version I used Sunday's Garn Double Sunday, and also Julie Asselin's Buckle yarn. And then I made a second version. It's this grey one over here, and this is knitted with single strand of Gepard Garn's Teddy Deer, and these are the bottom buttons are knitted with Pergund from Sunday's Garn. And I actually made this one slightly shorter, so it only has 5 buttons, whereas the white one I made has 6 buttons. And here's the pattern that I released last week. So this was knitted with Tuku wool, fingering in the colorway Hot Pink, and then Knitting for Olive's soft silk mohair in color, I think it was called Pink Daisies. And it's a triangular shawl. It has this super easy lace pattern with a bit of garter stitch, and then on the other side it has garter stitch because that makes it quite stretchy and nice to wear. So it looks like this huge shawl, super nice to wrap into. This was knitted by my sample knitter Riikka, so I didn't knit this myself. It's a really nice pattern. So this is the Haven shawl, and I will add a little discount code for you both on my Ravelry store and in my Shopify shop on sarinordl.com. You can check the links to my Shopify shop and Ravelry shop below this video. And if you use the code Sari YouTube, then write everything together, Sari YouTube, everything together, then you get a 20% discount on the Haven shawl as well as the Emily jacket, and the code is valid until the end of the month, so to 31st of December 2023. And I think that's everything I had in today's video. I first thought that I don't have anything to say because I felt like I haven't been knitting almost anything, but then I started to talk, and again I realized that I have always a lot of things to say about knitting, so here we go. But now I think I have said everything that I wanted to say for today. Remember to use the discount code Sari YouTube at Ravelry or in my Shopify shop to get the discount on the Haven shawl and the Emily jacket patterns. And trying to record one more episode for you before New Year's, but if we don't see before that, then have happy holiday time. Bye!